America owes these women so much more.
Battalion! Forward march!
The 6888, directed by Tyler Perry. Girl. Starring Kerry Washington, is now streaming on Netflix. This is, for me, another Hidden Figures type of film because I never knew about the 6888. I never knew about these women's contribution to World War II. Okay, let's get into this film. It starts out in San Pietro, Italy, in December of 1943 during World War II. It was hellacious and brutal, as we all know, as any war has been. Then we rewind to 1942 to Bloomfield, Pennsylvania, to Harristown High School, where we are introduced to the gorgeous Lena, who looks just like Trina McGee from Boy Meets World. Crazy! They're twins! She's dating Abram. Listen, Abram. Come on, Abram. A cutie pie. And we saw in the previous scene Abram in the war. Abram clearly is in love with the Coco, and he got game. He is spitting so much game to Lena and confesses his love for her before telling her that he'll be fighting in the war. Everyone around town are talking about Hitler and their concerns about the concentration camps. We later learn that Abram dies in the war, which of course broke Lena's heart and sends her into a depression. She then decides that she wants to join the army after graduation because she wants to smoke with Hitler. And so she enlists, and she is on her way when she encounters several other sisters also joining the army, including actress Shanice Williams, who I know and love from The Wiz Live. I love her, okay? I love her so much, so talented. These sisters all hit it off and they bonded. Of course, they're segregated from the white women, but do encounter some fine-ass brothers also in the army. Hugh Bell, to be specific. That's a fine-ass man. Savannah, okay? Fine as hell. We then meet the girls as Captain, played by Milana Jackson, whom I recognize from How to Get Away with Murder. She was in season 3. She played Ada Atwood, and so I was happy to see her again getting some work. Then we meet their captain, Charity Adams, played by the Kerry Washington. And Captain Adams don't fuck around. Do you hear me? Kerry was acting. Okay, she changed her accent and added some bass to her voice. She was committed. Okay, Captain Adams is teaching the girlies that they are representing Negro women across the country. We then meet Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt, played by motherfucking Susan Sarandon, okay, who has made a bit of a transformation as Eleanor, okay, the teeth girl, the prosthetics, the hair, and all. We saw her at her mansion, and there was a white woman waiting at her gate to speak with her. We go back to Captain Adams, who is whipping the girls into shape. Lena is struggling and Captain Adams is not feeling her. Lena has visions of Abram cheering her on, which I thought was very sweet. Captain Abrams has a battle of her own as she is ready to take her girls to serve and to fight, seeing that she's graduated hundreds of women. Her lieutenant doesn't think they're ready and says that the white women are more qualified and, oh girl, We meet Mary McLeod, played by Oprah. She's with the Roosevelts, who are having a meeting about the mail blockage and how soldiers are unable to communicate with their loved ones. The blockage is due to the vehicles being used for war supplies instead of mail. Makes sense. Eleanor wasn't having that shit, and neither was Mary McLeod. Mary had to let these dudes know that there is, in fact, a Black Women's Army Corps and that mail could be transported by them. She told they asses that the Black women are very smart and spoke highly of Captain Adams. Back to Hugh Bell, who is spitting serious game to Lena and even questions his upcoming marriage because of her. I'm like, damn, Hugh, you got it bad, brother. There was a scene where Captain Adams took the girls to the theater to watch a movie when they were questioned and harassed by their racist male counterparts, but they were ready to knuck if you buck, bitch. Especially Johnny May, played by Shanice Williams. Okay, listen, she was ready to pop off. Captain Adams had to check they asses too. She demanded respect as a captain, goddammit. Afterwards, Adams is informed by her superior that she and the girls have orders and will be flown to Europe. She was moved by this news. They learn as they're headed to Europe that they're only being sent over to deliver mail. not realizing the significance of this job. They want the smoke though, like everyone else, but they soon realize that there is a shit ton of mail, so they will be busy. Captain Adams delivered an inspiring speech to them that encouraged them and how they were expected to fail this mission. She poured into them, which was beautiful. Carrie deserves an Oscar nomination for this alone. I don't care. Argue with your old wig. As they're sorting through the mail, Lena sees Johnny May tossing the dog tags of the fallen soldiers into a bucket, and it sets her off. This was a great moment by this actress, and I thought she ate that shit up. Like, this was a great moment for her. She got to show her chops here. Lena was still grieving Abram. The girls were all there to comfort her, including Johnny May, which was great. They built a sisterhood. They assure her that they will help her to find any letters that were sent by Abram. Captain Adams assured Lena that she respects her and her will to fight. Captain Adams was informed by her general that all of the mail that she and the girls delivered was deemed undeliverable, and Adams knew that he was just giving her a hard time. It turned out that a lot of the packages were damaged or in poor condition, making it difficult to figure out where the fuck to send it to. But even with these conditions, they all came together and sorted that shit out, okay? They discovered each other's talents and acted accordingly. Soon after, they learned that their weak-ass chaplain was writing to General Halt, calling Adams and her girls wicked, and it was giving very much Alphaba treatment to me, and that's why Alphaba went the fuck off, because they kept poking at her, and that's why Adams went off on this bean burrito built ass chaplain. Shit. I would say she gathered his edges, but he had none to gather. Okay? She put his ass out immediately. Anyway, Lena discovers that the soldiers were drawing secret symbols on their letters to inform their families as to what part of the world they're in. They end up losing 2 girls in an accident, which was very sad. The army refused to bury them, which of course was fucked up. Captain Adams and the girls hold their own memorial, and we get to hear Shanice Williams sing, and as always, she sounds angelic. Adams then allows Lena to visit Abram's gravesite. She's able to properly mourn him. General Halt and his no-neck penguin-built ass shows up complaining, saying that there's been no progress from Adams and her crew. This actor was a little too good at playing this role, and I need somebody to figure out where he was on January 6th. I'm just saying, okay? He was a little too good at it. He only found the negative despite Adams informing him on the many talents her girls possesses that assisted in identifying so many unknown damaged letters. He tells her that Roosevelt has died, and so he's gonna bring in a white lieutenant, but Adams wasn't having that shit, and she got his ass together. After she ate his ass up, he couldn't even argue with her. Fuck out of here. He left and the girls all stopped working suddenly. Adams yelled and told them to get back to work, but instead, oh my God, they applauded her for standing up for them. Oh my God, I'm no good, because that shit had me so weak. It has me weak. Captain Adams wept, and so did I, man. Shit, oh my God, like, what a beautiful scene. It was just so beautiful and so well acted. This was such a precious moment, okay? The soldiers began receiving their mail, which shut Penguin's ass up again. But again, these soldiers and their families received their mail because of these black women. They were saluted and got the recognition they deserved, but to me, it's never enough. They were the only all-black women battalion directory in Europe during World War II. We got to see the real Lena at the end of the film, who is now 100 years old. She did end up marrying Hugh, which I thought was beautiful. She admitted that they were treated better in Europe than they were in the US, which is no fucking surprise, because Europeans, for the most part, just have more class and don't give a shit about what you look like. These women will never be given their due diligence, and there's never enough that this country could do for them to give them all of what they truly deserve. And I was nervous that Tyler Perry directed this, but I have to say that it was well done. It was a well done movie, and fuck, sorry, I highly recommend it. Just a great fucking film. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Give this a watch. Let's talk in the comments.